Coach, they love their crab cakes and they love their football. That's what Maryland does. And we are at M&T Bank Stadium down near the Inner Harbor of Baltimore. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Denver Broncos and the Baltimore Ravens. The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Here we go, set, 10 Lobo. 54. Here we go, here we go.
Now the first carry here for Phillip Lindsay. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
On 2nd down, a run with Lindsay. Matt Judon there to bring him down.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. And he completes it to the tight end, Knox. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down. Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete. Phillip Lindsay, the intended target, and it's 2nd down. 2nd and 10. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. On 3rd down, here's Lindsay. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line. And that is not near enough. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down. On 4th down on now is the lefty Ryan Allen to punt. Back deep, Jakeem Grant. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 16.
54.
Play action. It's Jackson. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown, 84 yards. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Got it.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Looking deep downfield. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Returnable for Grant. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already.
Ready. Mike, 44's Mike. Check, check. No gain on this defense. Hustle. Fofo's Mike. Mike's Fofo.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. There's Jackson on 3rd and long. And that's knocked away and incomplete. When they need to play on 3rd down, you kind of know what direction the ball is going, but the defense knew it too.
Yeah, it's a good call because they wanted to put 2 men on him, and they did. Dare him to throw into double coverage. Really what you're saying is, let's see if one of your other receivers can beat us.
And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? But it definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is
pressure gets to him and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Michael Pierce in all of his 340-pound glory gets the sack. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. 2nd and 13. Man open, he's got it complete to Courtland Sutton. He's at the 40, 20, 10, and all the way home for a Broncos score. Courtland Sutton, 96 yards, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And I think it's safe to say we won't call many touchdown passes longer than that this year, partner.
No, I would agree with that totally. And right now, you're looking at an offensive coordinator. Conservative would not go next to his name. Risk taker, definitely, because he valued the opportunity to create a big play against what could have been disaster if they end up getting sacked or fumbling the ball in the shadow of their own goal line.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Jackson. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Watch the slap. Watch the slap. Kill. Hey, turn it up. Squeeze. Slam. Check three.
That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
But when we go back to our conversation with the defensive coordinator, that type of a play was not a surprise to him. He expected trickery in this game, yet somehow his defense, they still took the cheese and got caught in the mousetrap.
Now a play fake here on first down. Flush to his right. And he's going to keep it here. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
And it should be the final play before the quarter ends. After one, a one-point game, 7-6. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2, as they are looking at a 2nd down and 6 coming up. 2nd and 6. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. A 20-yard touchdown. And the Broncos have taken the lead. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. This is the tight end Fant. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now it's Jackson. And the pressure gets to him again.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
To throw is Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And got his man complete. Marquise Brown. 98 yards as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. And that's the type of play that'll give your sideline some juice, a long touchdown pass.
And it's like a bolt of lightning, isn't it? Play brings everyone to their feet in the stadium, and he takes it all the way to the end zone. Give him credit for making that type of a play call, even more credit for how they executed it.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 23-yard line.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here we go on 2nd and 12. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
First down, Broncos.
They'll look to throw now on first down. He'll find his man on the comeback route, complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. A run with Lindsey out of the gun. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are. Figure out the things that they really want to accomplish and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
4 yards on the pickup. Good enough to extend the drive. Out of the gun, they give to Freeman. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Letting one go deep for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
All told, it's an even 30 and a first down. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his second week of the regular season. Towards the end zone for Brown. Got a man that's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns as his guys are able to regain the lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead is now 21-14. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Watch the pass. Protein spill. Check, check, check.
And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Set. 8-3. Here we go. Here we go. Snap.
Now back to throw. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds, and they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Jackson on 1st down, escaping the pressure right. Got a man, it's Brown. The 40, the 30, 10, 5, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Ravens are able to show off their quick strike ability. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you get this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They'll run here with Lindsey. And he's going to have a first down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. On first down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to air one out. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates are going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Oh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
That's a lot of points. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
You're out.
They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. So we come upon halftime in what's a 12-point game at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these team special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Now they air it out to start the drive, and it's complete. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown, 85 yards, as the Ravens push further out in front. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
54. Let's go, dude.
2nd and 9 now. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. It's a gain of 35. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, The defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Anthony Averett picks it. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now Jackson. Forced out to his left. He'll run it. And he slides to avoid the hit. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a 1st down.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
Jackson toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Marquise Brown was the intended target, but it'll be 2nd down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Marquise Brown there to make the grab as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that will bump the lead up to 26. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 14 on that one and a 1st down. They'll run on 1st down. Lindsey. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Here's 2nd and 8. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game. Go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity.
At the Broncos' 41-yard line.
Set, hop, go to base. 44. Come on, D. He's coming. Double up, double up. Double up. Hey. A little flare. Watch out. Back. Oh. Tighten up.
He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
First and 10 at the 23-yard line.
On first down, Branch. And some room to run now. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. They went counter there offensively, and a couple of defenders were on skates for a second.
They certainly were, and you know what offensive linemen love about the counters and the misdirections? Sometimes you don't even have to block the defender. He can run himself out of the play if he doesn't read his keys properly.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal.
He's coming. We got double up. Switch. Check.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. From 4 yards out as his guys continue to pour it on. I don't even know what to say anymore. I mean, I've lost track of how many times he's been in the end zone. This is just flat unbelievable.
Doesn't matter whether you have an abacus, a calculator, just old-fashioned pencil and paper trying to total it up. The number is staggering. What a performance. This man knows how to find the end zone and make it count.
Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. He'll drop to throw. This one complete to the running back, Lindsey. They showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. They'll drop to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through.
That's caught inside the 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood, Marquise Brown, 61 yards as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
The Broncos take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey, and he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's second and a country mile.
Check 26, check 26. Switch.
They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Get in the weight room. Pause. Check 3. Check.
Throwing on third and long. Jackson. He's going to loft one deep up. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 19. And the return will stop right around the 25. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. They'll look to throw here. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to...
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. It's a safety blitz and a sack for Earl Thomas.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from their first one and blew out the Seahawks.
44, Mike, 44. I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son. Sam, watch twist. Kill.
Trying the jet sweep here. It's Boykin. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. This will be caught by Brown. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
1st and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Mike, check. Hey, here I come.
Jackson, options out left. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Ravens, they used a favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for Denver, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.